My name's Simon Peck and I work in mental health ordinarily, but was seconded to the Healing Arts Project, Arts and Stroke Project in 2008.
Time Being Stroke is an example of our arts and rehabilitation programs designed to help people, once they've been admitted to hospital, to recover from their illness.
I was seconded from my post in mental health to undertake the role of lead investigator for the project. And initially that involved me leading on the consultation with the multidisciplinary team and the stroke unit, really just introducing them to the project and figuring out what might be the pitfalls of introducing arts into the medical setting of the stroke unit.
The programme is designed to be delivered on a hospital ward in partnership with the multidisciplinary team of clinicians and therapists and fully integrated into a person's programme of care. It is person-centred, with the patient themselves deciding the activities that they participate in.
What we tried to do was to be as inclusive as possible and to really make it possible for the whole range of people who are affected by stroke to participate in the arts programme. The ethics committee that oversaw the project stipulated that we were not able to recruit people into the study who had pre-existing cognitive impairment or pre-existing dementia. The patients needed to be medically stable and they needed to be around for at least 2 weeks following the point at which the stroke team said they were ready to be approached. In other words, they were medically stable and could be approached to seek their consent to participate in their agreement to participate in the study.
The programme that we developed for a stroke unit was for patients who had suffered significant trauma as a result of their stroke.
We interviewed 18 patients. 1 or 2 patients who weren't able to communicate their experience, we interviewed them with their relatives, or in 1 or 2 cases their relatives instead of them. So there were sometimes the relatives were actually involved in the arts activities with the patient, and so if we were going to interview them, they would be able to talk from direct experience of being involved in the art sessions themselves. And the patients reported a range of benefits, mostly in the area of mental well-being. For example, many of the patients said that they benefited from being involved in creative activity, in activities that they found personally enjoyable and pleasurable. They enjoyed the interaction, the relationship that they formed with the artists, the connection they made with the artist, and the connections they also made with themselves and their former lives prior to having the stroke. For some patients it was about getting away from the stresses and strains of being on the ward and having some respite and relief from that. For others it was about being calmed through the activity, through being in a kind of through being in a calm situation where they could relax and be themselves with the artist and be themselves and be relaxed by engaging in art activity. So the benefits were quite wide-ranging.
The research establishes that patients themselves think that an arts and rehabilitation programme significantly contributes to improving their mental well-being and helps them to overcome the trauma of illness that is experienced as a result of having a stroke.
I think it is shown with the group of patients that participated in the arts program that they did benefit. They benefited quite clearly from their perspective. They told us that they benefited from participating in the arts activity. That they were helped in their emotional recovery from stroke through engaging in arts and working with the artists. I think the artists and the multidisciplinary team on the stroke unit also thought that, and indeed the multidisciplinary team said that in some instances they believed that the arts activities contributed to the person's physical rehabilitation and recovery from stroke.
As part of Time Being Stroke, we have developed a toolkit which will enable you to deliver your own arts and rehabilitation programme at your own hospital in partnership with your clinicians and multidisciplinary team, and you can view and download this on our website.